are here now. The sprint is done, or okay, we are inside the sprint. During the sprint, what exactly we are doing, that we are discussing here. So during the sprint daily basis, we have a scrum meeting or stand-up meeting will be conducted, and then we will be continuing with the review. Suppose, yeah, all the 10 days or working days are over and we have completed all our user stories. At the end of the sprint, the review is going to happen. So here we'll get different scenarios. One of the scenario is like what Raj has asked previously. I will also answer that now. So during the review meeting, whatever the requirements or user stories the team has developed and tested, all these requirements or user stories will be showed to the end user. And in this review meeting, everyone will join again. The testers, developers, end user, product owner, scrum master, everyone will be there. And one of the team member will explain all the requirements, whatever they have developed during the sprint. And once the explanation is over, if the end user is satisfied with the development part for all 10 requirements, whatever they have selected, then fine. Sometimes he may come back and say that, so out of 10 requirements or user stories, so he doesn't like the development for 2 user stories. That 2 user stories will go back and sit on top of the product backlog again, because he might have suggested some changes to that 2 user stories, or he might have done say that the development whatever they have done is not correct. In both the cases, that particular requirements will go and sit on top of the product backlog. So that is scenario 1. In scenario 1, all the requirements are developed by the development team, but the end user doesn't like 1 or 2 requirements or user stories. So those will go back. Scenario 2, the development team itself doesn't complete the development for 2 user stories or 3 user stories due to time problem or due to some other issues. In that case, only 8 will be closed and the remaining 2 will go back, or 2 or 3 requirements will go and sit on top of the product backlog. Scenario 3. So during the sprint, the testing team has found critical defects. So normally there is a agreement or there is a acceptance criteria that so there should not be any critical defects or blocker defects during the sprint. So that should be resolved by the end of the sprint. Sometimes there is a possibility that they may not be able to fix. So in whichever the functionalities, in whichever the user stories you have a blocker or a critical, again that particular user stories will not be closed. They will go back and sit on top of the product backlog. So normally what should happen? At the end of the sprint, you should be able to give, the development team should be able to give a potentially shippable product. What does that mean? Potentially shippable product means the end user should be able to use the functionalities whatever we have given to him. So previously I was talking about the sale. So Amazon has given the requirement saying that in another 1 week or 2 weeks time, we have to start the sale parallel to the eBay. So if the developer develops something for that, and if they give the requirements with so many defects, what Amazon has to do, they have to scrap that application, nothing else. So that's the reason at the end of the sprint, whatever the functionalities we are going to deliver to the end user, that should not contain any kind of problems and it should be in the proper usable mode. Otherwise, it is not going to be worth. So did I answer everyone's question or did I miss anything? If you have any questions, let me know now. Okay, so Raj has a question. Will there be any chance in the middle of my sprint the requirement might get cancelled? Yes, Ross, definitely there is a possibility. So suddenly someone may come back and say that, or the end user may come and say that, no, this requirement doesn't require right now. So the product owner will inform that information to the team and team will not work on that. That is possible. So this is the most flexible model which is used in the software development. So that's the reason it became very, very popular. Every company is trying to use it, but they are not going to use the core concept of, uh, I mean, the complete. They don't follow the actual rules of Scrum. None of the projects or none of the companies are following the actual Scrum rules. So what they do, they will take the core concept of this and they will tweak it, and they are using on their own. So because suddenly they couldn't change according to this model. So that's the reason Scrum says so many rules and regulations, so many things. These guys are not able to follow. That's the reason they are tweaking. And inside Scrum model, again, they will introduce this waterfall model. So such kind of things are happening right now in in most of the real-time projects. Yes, I will be sharing the material after this. So whatever I'm showing here, this document will be shared and along with the video. And what are the artifacts and how do they update? Josna has a question here. So what are the artifacts and how do they update? Artifacts here will be product backlog, and that will be maintained in the Jira tool or any tool, and the testers will be preparing some kind of test cases, and that is another thing which they will be maintaining, and test reports, defects. So all this should be documented, and all this will be there in normally in one of the test management tool or a agile process management tool. So there is a difference between agile process management tool and test management tool. Test management tool is like QC, whatever we have discussed in the last two classes, which will be talking about the complete testing process. But agile process management tool will be helpful to manage the scrum. So that we will see now. Uh, yeah, any other questions? Here the sprint will get cancelled or only the requirement get cancelled, and I have to take another requirement to continue the same project. So Raj has one more question here. So he is asking, like, suppose there any possibility to cancel the sprint, or is it going to be there? Are they going to cancel only a particular requirement? If you don't have any requirements, and if the end user scraps all the requirements whatever they have given earlier, then yes, definitely you have to cancel your sprint also. You don't have any work. So there is no, if you don't have any work, you cannot proceed with your sprint, right? So that's, if you have some more user stories, yes, actually Scrum doesn't suggest to add new requirements during the sprint. But now, as I told you, everyone is tweaking this Scrum model. So if something is removed, yes, one more additional thing can be added based on the estimation. Okay, yeah. Maumita is asking, RTM is also maintained in Jira. She's talking about requirement traceability matrix. So here in Jira tool, you cannot write any test cases. There is no way to write the test cases directly here. Again, you have to use some kind of plugins to write the test cases. So RTM is not possible. You can keep your requirements or user stories, and you can report the defects, and you can see the sprint progress in this Jira tool. Nothing else. Test cases should be written separately. So that's the reason many companies are using both Jira and Quality Center tools together. Yes, it is a overhead, and it will increase the uh, efforts also, but there is no other way. But now Jira has so many other plugins are like Jaffer, etc. So if you install that particular Jaffer plugin by buying it, then you can also write the test cases and you can create the traceability matrix, traceability here. Otherwise, it's not possible. Yes, Momita.
Hi
You can speak
Aditya,
now.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Aditya, I was asking, like, in every project, like, if one part of the work is given to somebody, I mean, when the work is shared among the testers and the developers, we maintain an Excel sheet, right, to whom it is the work, who has taken up the work, and how far if it is not taken up, or if it is in progress, or if it is completed. So like something like that. So that is something that Jira has, or a different Excel sheet is maintained.
No, that is there. That's what we are going to do as part of sprint planning too. So they will be creating different tasks, and who is going to work on which task, that can be easily maintained in Jira tool. So once I open Jira tool, I will explain you clearly how it will be done,
Okay.
how the process is going to
Okay.
be, and we can easily understand which task is under progress and who is working on that, so that the other team members can pick up some other task here.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Aditya.
Yeah. Yes, Raj. Let me unmute you. Yes, you can
Yeah,
speak now, Raj.
yeah, thanks, Aditya. I'm sorry if I missed your answer for my first question. So when for the sprint one, if I have a module A, I have asked like if I have a severity one critical and blocker defects. So will the sprint will be the particular requirement will be backlogged, or my sprint time will get extended, Aditya? Maybe I missed your answer. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yes, that question that I have answered. Yes, I will repeat one more time. So
Okay.
sprint duration will not be extended at any point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So the duration will be done once the 2 weeks is decided. Yes, at the end of 2 weeks it should be done. So as you asked, if one of the requirement has one or two critical defects,
Mm-hmm.
then that particular requirement will go and sit on top of the product backlog again. In the next sprint, the team will be working on it.
Okay, say for example, if the sprint 2 has a dependency on the sprint 1, say for example, if you take the Gmail, the inbox is a module, it's taken in the sprint 1, and the sent items and the trash is taken in a sprint 2. So now the complete functionality is blocked, right? So in this case, like what would be the takeaway?
So in the beginning, yes, it is difficult to complete all the functionalities in one shot. So what they do, even if they say at the end of the sprint, there should be a potentially shippable product. So when the project is in the beginning stage, that is not possible. That's true. So in that case, they have to wait. The end user will wait for at least 6 months to 1 year time, and then they will take the product. And from there onwards, if any new functionalities are developed, that should be useful at the end of the sprint. I mean, that means it should be useful once the sprint is completed. It's not like half of the development requirement you will be developing in this sprint, and again the so remaining half you will be developing it later. For example, one banking application is already in live. So at
Mhm.
that point of time, if you introduce one of the feature with only half of the requirement, then end users cannot use it. They have to complete the complete requirement, and then only they should incorporate that in the product.
Okay, so in this case, like obviously the sprint is going to be extended, right? We are not going to move to the next one, next sprint to complete the other
No, no, no.
jobs.
That, for example, I didn't understand your question. Whatever you are giving related to Gmail. Could you please explain one more time?
Okay, so what I'm saying is like the sprint one, the team members has committed to deliver a module called inbox. Okay,
Okay,
there was a severity one defects identified in the sprint one on the inbox module. Okay.
okay.
So and since due to that severity one defects, I couldn't able to proceed a sprint one here. So will I be asked to move to the sprint two, or I'll be getting a time to fix the defects on sprint one? Because sprint two has a dependency on sprint one, wherein sprint two I have to work on a sent items or other small sub modules, as you mentioned,
Got
right?
it. Got it,
Okay.
Raj.
Yeah.
So, as I told, sprint duration will not be extended. If
Okay.
you say 2 weeks time, at the end of the 2 weeks, whether you complete it or whether you are not going to complete it, we have to
Mm-hmm.
close that sprint. Suppose due to defects, some of the user stories are not completed. Still, you will go ahead and close the sprint. Whenever you close the sprint, that particular user story will go and sit on top of the product backlog here. Again, in the next sprint, first they will pick this user story. Along with that not completed user story, they will be taking some more requirements. Maybe it might be related to sent items, or it might be related to trash, or whatever it is.
Okay,
And
got it.
they will accommodate the new requirements in that new sprint. But at the end of 2 weeks, that should be closed.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that answer my question.
Yeah. Okay, so Jefferson has a question. The tech purpose of the tech daily. What is that? TEH? I didn't understand your. Are you answering for someone, Jefferson? I didn't understand. Okay. Already you have mentioned here in the bottom. Okay. Fine, fine. Um, do we use agile methodology if the requirements have more dependency on each other? We might go for waterfall. So waterfall will be useful when all the requirements are very well clear. That means, for example, if you want to develop a calculator software, we know how the functionalities are going to work. Or if you are planning to develop a game, so in the beginning itself you will be deciding all the requirements in one shot. So Scrum model is going to be useful when the requirements are not clear in the beginning, and the requirements are changing on regular basis, and they are in dynamic nature. Only in such cases the Scrum model is more useful. If everything is clear, you know everything about that particular project and requirements, then you can directly go ahead and develop or use waterfall model. There is no harm. Okay. Yeah. So once the review meeting is over, what is the next step? In the review, as I told, there are 10 requirements they took into the sprint. Out of 10, the end user has accepted only few, maybe 3 or 4, and the remaining one will go and sit on top of the product backlog. And in the next sprint, again the team will take that. So maybe they might have done some of the work for this requirement. So again they will estimate how much work has been already done and how much needs to be done. So based on that, the number of hours will be reduced. Already they might have spent around 8 to 10 hours time. So the remaining time they will be spending on it. It's not like again they will give the same number of hours for that user story. Okay. So once that is also done, what is the next step? They are going to work on retrospective. This is the final meeting which will be conducted in Scrum. What is Scrum? What is retrospective means? Who is going to join in this particular meeting? Retrospective meeting will be conducted by the Scrum Master again. Scrum Master and team members will be joining. Testers and developers will be joining. Even product owner will not be there most of the times in this particular meeting. Yes, in some companies, yes, they are also product owner also will be joining. But basically, what is the use of this retrospective? In this particular retrospective meeting, all the team members will identify and explain what they have done well and what they would have done better. So these two things they will be discussing here. What is the reason behind discussing about the good things and bad things what happened in the last sprint? The major thing is whatever they have done well, that might be a motivation factor for them to move further. So they can say that even something is not clear, we are able to develop the application and we were able to deliver the application on time. It is a kind of motivation factor for them. Second, they may come back and say that sorry, during the sprint we got some clarification, and that clarification was not clarified by the product owner, or the end user was not responding, or this particular environment is down and no one was able to set up it properly. So these are the bad things, or what they would have not they would have done better comparatively whatever they have done in the last sprint. So why they are identifying it? So first they will identify those points whatever they couldn't do better, and they will give the priority. and they will try to resolve that kind of problems as early as possible. So at the end of every sprint, they will identify these kind of negative points, and they will try to solve those points as early as possible. At certain point of time, all these problems will be resolved and the sprints will run very smoothly. Whenever you go to agile model, yes, in the beginning you will face lot of restriction resistance from the different types of people. So that's the reason you might be facing some problem. Once everyone use it to this particular model, everything will run very smoothly. So until that time, in the retrospective, they have to identify some kind of bad things, and that should be documented and that should be resolved as early as possible. So normally if they find any kind of problem within the next sprint time, they should try to resolve it, and that particular task normally will be taken care by the scrum master. Clear? Any questions? This is how the scrum model is going to work overall. Okay, retrospective meeting. Okay, are there any particular sectors where scrum is used more than others? No, in all software development projects you can use it. Even nowadays what they are doing, even all the requirements are very much clear. Instead of going for waterfall model, they are using the scrum model, because everyone will be taking it as with their responsibility. So no one can escape from the work, and also for every 2 weeks we can show some kind of progress. But if you take the waterfall model, you have to wait at least 6 months time to see some progress. At the end of 6 months, if someone say come and say that I need another 3 months time to develop, we cannot say anything. So here in scrum model, for every 2 weeks we can see the progress. We are estimating this much and we are able to complete this much. So such kind of clarity we'll have here in the beginning. So that's the reason people are using it. There is no sector or there is no clear I mean restriction like only these sectors have to use it. And yeah, to see how well they did and what exactly. Okay, so you guys are explaining retrospective happens after every sprint. Yes, Sana. So after every sprint, the retrospective is going to happen. Even that is not going to be take more time. So within 10-15 minutes, they will complete it. They don't waste time in this particular model, first of all. Any questions? Is it clear? I will share this diagram. Just go through it. If you remember this diagram, you can easily explain to anyone. And also please use the technical terms whatever are documented here, so that the other person will understand whether you really worked in that particular model or not. So if you use the word called BA and all those stuff, he will feel that okay, still you are in the waterfall model. So you have to use the terms like product owner, product backlog, sprint backlog, planning one, planning two, sprint, stand-up meeting. So these are the few technical terms which needs to be used during here.